What's up? Welcome. It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. The biggest entertainers in the world. Sean Puffy Combs, Eminem. Who has it? Who has the power? Now, this, despite of what you've been told, this whole scenario has been a breakdown and a show of power. Eminem is abusive to it. And see, here's my biggest thing that I'm always fighting the power. If I just conformed and did what everybody else liked, I would be the biggest thing in the world. I would be on television. You'd be like, yo, that's Carcino, yo, he on TV. But no, they dislike me. So therefore, I don't get my videos seen, notifications not sent out, because I speak against the power. If I told the line, then this would be different. As right now, you guys can't even comment, which is crazy. See, when it comes to Eminem, we're gonna tell you like, well, see, I'm gonna explain some things to you. Might change your mind a little bit as I point out some things. When Eminem first came out, I was the main supporter of Eminem. When he couldn't get that break, when he couldn't get that shot, when his first CD was out, all of these people, you know what they were doing? They were hating on him. And he was a broke kid who was white, but he was spitting. He was working his butt off trying to make it. And he wanted this. He wanted this really bad. He fought. He fought really hard to get in position and wanted to be accepted in a place where the record companies, who were all people that looked like him, his complexion, the people who were black didn't want him in. And even the white people were like, he's not going to make it. The kid, look at him. He's not going to make it. How are we going to push this to a bunch of kids? Dre went all in on Eminem because that was his last shot. Dre was done. The studios was through believing in Dr. Dre. The record companies out there, Jimmy was the only one sticking with Dre. Clive Davis and everyone else is like, this guy's not gonna, he's not gonna get death row type numbers. The run's over. Well, I told you Lil Wayne album was coming out this week. No surprise there. But my best friend who was killed, Eminem was the last thing we really had in conversation. Jay Boogie, I did it right on the live chat when we actually brought it up. Y'all said it's gonna come out on his birthday. I said it was supposed to come out Friday. Fans are ticked off. They're gonna get it out fast as they can. So you might get it next week, next Friday. Boom. And what happened? You're gonna get it. See, I know these things. Just because you don't believe, don't make it so. Now, my buddy, when Hi My Name Is was like blowing up, it was everywhere. My buddy was like, man, is this guy for real? He was asking me about Eminem. He's like, you heard that white boy that was rapping? Is that guy for real? And I'm like, man, I got a mixtape of him right now, ripping. So I bring this up to talk about the power change. Eminem went for a very grateful to be where he is person to a very nasty, evil, manipulative person. He changed. Right when the fame came, the money came, and he started seeing how the power he has and the influence, he started to change. There was a white rapper you guys never heard of, or some of you do if you was in the underground, named Ideas. Eyedea. He was winning battles and everything. So Ideas was coming up, white kid, and they was like, we got the next Eminem. We got the next Eminem. He was battling people like Shells and everybody else from Philly. He won a Blaze battle and all that stuff. Anyway, ideas came back, and things actually changed. Somebody said, "Yeah, he won a battle that was on HBO," and one of his things that he did was make a couple of demo songs. His demo songs were terrible. They were next to terrible. But being polished, somebody could have worked with him and got him polished. He tried to work with Eminem, and they brought it up to him like this kid was on HBO. What is Eminem going to do to bring up the white kids? So they's like, oh, this is a good idea. So they were trying to get into Paul Rosenberg. He's always been respectful to Eminem. And they was like, okay, well, tell the kid if he do some interviews, start mentioning how Eminem was an influence to him, how Eminem is what, motivated him to get into rap and to get into that. He was like, I was a fan of him, but he didn't really do all that. And like how M reached out. They wanted the kid to lie. They wanted the kid to lie. So the kid started saying Eminem was the one that really influenced him, and the kid started doing that stuff, lying. And you know what happened? They still never signed him. They never brought him in. They never worked with ideas. Other than the other word, what they did was keep other people from working with him. That's why he didn't blow. It wasn't that the kid couldn't rap. They shelved him. They were going to take him and put him behind Eminem and never see the light of day. They didn't want anybody to be out there but Eminem. The power. Now, when it comes to power, let's look at Diddy. Sean Puffy Combs had one of the biggest, like lawsuits, a shooting in the New York area, a nightclub or whatever they was at over in New York with some hustler or whatever threw money in Puffy face. People were shot up. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez is in there. First thing they did was get Jennifer Lopez out of the situation. No charges, nothing. She was just there. They weren't even allowed to mugshot her. A lot of people say, oh, Jennifer's people to pull that off. That was with the help and cooperation with Puff and his people. Yeah, she knew some powerful people, but Tommy Mantola, Benny Medina, all of these people were all connected to Sean Puffy Combs as well. Clive Davis and Tommy Mottola, two powerful people, were the ones who backed Sean Puffy Combs. Diddy. They knew Diddy didn't have anything to do with that on that level. He's been a shot caller since the early 90s. So when Eminem felt that he had the right to actually be able to, at this point, say that, even in a rhyme, about Sean Puffy Combs, what he's saying is, I now have the power to say that to you, which he does not. At the end of the song, when you're saying, oops, I've said too much, and you disrespecting Sean Puffy Combs in the way that you were disrespecting him, the repercussions are going to come. This is a battle that's going to be fought behind the scenes. This battle is never, yeah, I saw about Victor. Saw it on my last, while I was doing my last video. Puffy tried to help Sean. Sean got out. He was deported. Every time they try to do something, they find a way to derail him. Every time. Diddy coat. So those people who are not siding with Diddy, I don't understand why not. Eminem in no way, shape, or form had any right to do what he did to Sean Puffy Combs, to make that kind of insinuation. If any other rapper had done that, do you know what they'd have been into? Eminem is not a boss. You said it right. He's not a boss. He's not somebody who knows what to do. In the song Stepping Stone, he tells you, I'm sorry, I didn't know how to make this thing work. I don't know how to make everything mesh together. He's a product of his environment. Hey, what's up, Mr. Sledge? I saw your message saying that something about the kids. Like I got the kids in the streets or something. I'm like, what did I do now? um, I will never forget, and this is how much the brainwash was. Somebody told me, why does Eminem, what happened to Eminem's blue eyes? Why is he wearing the brown contact lenses? I said, no, those are his real eyes. He never had blue eyes. The kid was saying everything from my video. I seen one kid say something from a video. I don't know which one it is. I couldn't see it. I just saw the words come across my screen. I don't know which video it is, but a lot of them do it. And give me no credit. Somebody just sent me a video of somebody saying what I was saying. I'm like, wait a minute. I just said this. That happens like 3 times a day. Somebody be like, look who said this. If they ain't taking my titles, they taking it all, bro. So it was the studio's idea to dye his hair blonde, give him blue contact lenses, and sold him as a pop act. Now the power that's behind Eminem, Jimmy Iovine, Paul Rosenberg, and all the other people that they have their claws into, they run deep. But to be compared to people like Clive, Tommy Mentola, those are the bosses of the bosses. You know, Jimmy Iovine has power, don't get me wrong. But do he have more power than Clive? Absolutely not. Tommy Mentola and all these guys who used to run Sony, Tommy Mentola is still behind the scene. Diddy has way more connections in the game than Slim Shady. Slim Shady has Interscope. And let me show you another example of power. Why do you think Eminem last album, Revival, got so much bad reviews? Got so many bad reviews. Why do you think it did? Clive Davis is the reason Puffy Company is signed with Interscope. They were with Epic Records, and then they came over and did the deal with Interscope because of Clive. So here's another example of power. Why couldn't Eminem have a song that broke the record on Revival on the internet? He could have. You know why Eminem tanked his last album? No, it had nothing to do with it being whack. He had a lot of whack albums that they went and supported. It has nothing to do with that. It's because of the simple fact he went after Trump. Once he went after Donald Trump, the writers who are right wing Republican writers, Republican right wing people, wanted to show Eminem his place. We don't like the fact that you're sticking up for Black Lives Matters. Not you. We made you. We will destroy you. So the narrative was being written about him negatively on social media. And the power Eminem's supposed to have It didn't work. They tried everything in their power to sway people to go out and buy Revival. They spent millions to sway the people to go out and buy that album. You see what I'm saying? And he talks about mumble rapper and all that stuff. Who's the guy that did a song on his album Revival with Fresher? Hold on, wait a minute. 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 What is not this? It was Jimmy Neutron. It was Neutron. No, Eminem didn't end his career. The powers that be blocked him out. You see, at that time, they don't want another Eminem. Another Eminem was a distraction. So that's why they did what they did. Right. So, like, how you going to talk about MGK and tired of this mumble rap mother and you on the song with Fresher and 2 Chainz? Because you're trying to get back on. He didn't do a song with Joyner Lucas because Joyner Lucas is nice. He did a song with Joyner Lucas because Joyner Lucas was hot. He was hot at the time. Joyner Lucas is hot. He's an MC. He could spit and the people accept him already. They love that song he did. I need that. I need that to be next to me. So I could rip with him. And they could say, oh, look at Eminem. He still got it on the Joyner Lucas track. Diddy has connections. Diddy don't have to pick up a mic and rap. Diddy ain't rapped in about 4 or 5 years. Do you understand? And the man is richer than ever. He's always gonna be in Forbes. Every year. Eminem don't own his own planes. Diddy got a wing. All right, Diddy got international partners. Him is one of the nicest as far as politics of the game. You understand what I'm saying? That's where he's the nicest. Like, MC like the way he spit. You know, I'm going to talk about Eminem writing patterns. But I was going to do that another time. But I'll do it right now. It don't even matter. Eminem writing style is 4 bars. And I'm going to tell you, Eminem write 4 bars to 8 bars at a time. The way he puts words together and make them and bend them to make them rhyme It's from repetition. So he's used to doing this over and over and over and over again. It's like keep sharpening a pencil. You're keeping yourself sharp at all times. The more you write, the tighter you'll be. So he writes bars and then he'll finish one line. Like he'll write a bar and just it would just be out of random. Would write a bar, stop. Write again, stop. Start thinking about the beat, making up things. Pop, 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 pop. Write again, about 8 bars, 4 to 8. Stop. Then he'll try to rhyme it together and he might take words out or change the pattern in which he's rhyming it. So it's a lot of scratching out. Scratch that. I can say that better. I do it like this. Pop, 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 pop. Then he'll think about the next one. And it's like connecting the words, the phrases together. He'll take this phrase that he said over here. Okay, I'll blend that. Then I'll come with this. Bop, 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 bop. That's how it goes. So when you listen to an Eminem rap, and I was going to break this down to you so that you guys could really understand it. When you listen to an Eminem rap, and this is why Eminem it's been part of his success, but it's been a large part of his struggles. A very large part of his struggle as of late. And you start to see the difference. And here's the main part with Eminem. Substance. When you write like that, you lose the substance. It's very hard to write in that format and not continue on with what you're doing. You lose the format. You lose the connection. You're just rhyming words and bars and it sounds great. But when you go back and listen to it, you say, well, there's nothing really here. Or it wasn't really that clever. See, on his first couple of albums, if you listen to the rhymes, a lot of his songs didn't really jump off the table. A lot of his raps didn't jump off the table. And you probably saying, well, what you mean by that? They didn't jump. It didn't jump. A lot of his rhymes were simple. Like old throwaway raps. I sit back with this pack, a zigzag of this weed, and it's needed to be. It made me the most meanest MC on this earth, and it's cursed, and it's worse, and it's hurt, and it's thump, and it's blurt. So when he first came out, if you listen to it like The Way I Am, it's the production that really brought out Eminem. He was writing to the production. Dre would make a beat and he would rhyme to it. So when he made a song like Guilty Conscience, he was writing to the beat and he was able to bring out his characters and be two different people at the same time. These voices, and these voices, and these voices. And when I hear I follow, I follow, I follow. Dre produced, but he just produced on his own time. But at that time, Dre was in trouble, and he needed to make a hit. He knew in the studio when My Name Is, they did that in like 14 minutes of being in Dr. Dre house. The very first day they were in the house, about 20 minutes, he dropped that beat for my name is. Dre already had that. Once he dropped that, right away, Eminem came up with the hook. And once you came up with the bridge, you could write around anything else. Now Eminem is very creative. I love like a lot of his raps are incredible, but some of it lacks substance. But some things that mean something to him, if he got the subject matter, he could write about it. Like 8 Mile Road, he could write all about that. That's Eminem's life. It's a certain significance. It's a certificate of authenticity. See, it's everything to me. It's my credibility. You never seen, heard, or smell or really see. This incredible was on the same pedestal as me. But yeah, I'm still unsigned, having a rough time. Sit on the curb with my friend and spit down rhymes. Go to work and serve them seeds at the lunchtime. But when it come crunch time, where do my punchlines go? To spin my flow. Where must I go? Who must I show? Who must I know? Oh, I'm just another crab in the bucket. That was like one of my favorite verses ever. That is the longest song Eminem has ever made. 8 Mile Road is like the longest song he ever made. And that was my favorite song on the album. The beat, everything. No, I don't spit like him. No, I don't. If I wanted to, I can get up and do it, but no. My rhyme pattern is unorthodox. It's just Eminem's writing pattern. He can make it rhyme different ways, as he does in his songs. He'll rhyme in different formats. But the way he writes it, he could try to bend it when he rhyme it, like bend words to make it rhyme and all that stuff. That's what he's good at. But when he actually takes the time, right, it makes that's just MCing skills. People, rappers, know how to do that anyway. They say words that don't even sound that way just to make it rhyme. But you know what they're talking about. It's just a show of skill. Like I can rhyme anything. Well, there's a lot of right wing writers at USA Today. There's one I can't think of his name right now. His name starts with M, but he works for a lot of these guys who do weather stuff, reporting on the weather. Now all of a sudden they are doing doggone. They were doing politics and everything. Now they talking about MGK, Eminem. It's like seriously, you don't cover this. Do you know what it sounded like? This is exactly what it was like. So Eminem has put out an album, Kamikaze. It's created such a stir that there's actually a song about a rapper on there, an artist called MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, who put out this thing that's called the diss record. It's like when a rapper, wants to talk about another rapper, and Eminem, he's like the best at the diss records. And MGK put out a diss record on Eminem. Now everyone knew that Eminem was going to come back, and he was going to come back, and he was going to make his own, like, the diss record on MGK. And when it came out, it was massive. It was such a surge. Yes, and it was like the biggest thing ever on YouTube to ever debut was Eminem's return. Oh, it was so vicious. It was the biggest thing ever. Well, you know that Eminem is going to do what he's going to do when he makes his song. And now, Machine Gun Kelly, he puts out this binge project, and it is just not up to par with the diss record that he had on Eminem. And I think he wants no parts of Eminem now after that response by Eminem. How would you rate it? I rate it. He's such a masterful MC. He's so smart. He was able to take him down and show why he's superior. That's how the crap was going all this week through social media. They did a review of Binge, the album, Machine Gun Kelly Binge album. They did a review of the album. And throughout the review of that album, do you know what they did? Throughout the entire review of the project, what they chose to do. No, because you don't understand. Eminem's power has caused that narrative to happen. Do you realize they spent $800,000, almost an album budget, on promoting Killshot? Pushing that song. It debuted on the Billboard charts at number 3. So you mean to tell me the fastest growing song on YouTube with a 90 million whatever in 3 days is only number 3 on the Billboard charts? So what are you telling me? The math don't sound right. Does that math sound right to you? The largest debuting video in YouTube history is Eminem's Kill Shot, right? But it's number 3 on the Billboard charts when it debuts. How is that possible? More like kill bots. Click farm in Bangladesh. Back at it again. Eminem's album Kamikaze is dropped down to like what, 74th in the Hot 100. How is that? No songs on the radio. The song with him and Joyner Lucas, nobody even plays. And I love that song. So how is Eminem number 1 in the world in perception? They've spent $800,000 plus album budgets Lucky You is a great song. It's a great Joyner Lucas song featuring Eminem. You're absolutely correct. The people that are winning are Interscope. See, that's where these guys get their traffic from. They got these people, these tech guys that work overseas who do SEO work that they pay money to keep their pages going or all this stuff. So they make an exceptional amount of money. Now the writers, what they get out of it is that the company would take the articles that they like from like USA Today. Anybody who's writing something, like they'll say, "Hey, Eminem's got a project. He wants you to, write something on it." All these guys are fans that are just because they got a job of writer, they don't mean that they got a guy. They got a guy at every platform. Okay, they have guys at every platform in America. Every record company got a guy they grease that they give concert tickets to, that and they kiss up. It's just like a sports writer. It's like Dan Raphael. They're gonna find a company that they kiss their butt to. And it's the same with these writers. They want to keep Interscope happy. So they're gonna write happy. They're gonna play ball. So what they start to do to save money is they took the articles of fans. They took the YouTube videos that were made by fans who went and altered things, and they put it in there and got their team to promote it. The record company. Why do you think those YouTube videos went viral? The video of MGK not being booed, the original video, didn't go as viral as the one as the people said he was booed. It had made it to major platform networks like Pitchfork and everything else. Interscope has changed. The people that made Pitchfork, most of those guys started working for Interscope. Their website now for Interscope Records is designed like Pitchfork. You think that's a coincidence? Wake up, people. Eminem is not talked about by any artist on any fans you know. You can ask 5, 6 people around you how many people have actually heard Eminem's music. You'll probably have 4 of the 5 around you that said, "No, I ain't really heard nothing. I heard this guy dissed him, and he made a song." So the way that they got it, statistically speaking, mostly everybody has heard Kill Shot. Do you know how many people have never even heard of Kill Shot and not even listened to Kamikaze? No, this isn't fake beef. And they don't have the same bosses. Paul Rosenberg, Jimmy Iovine, Jimmy and them, they barely run Interscope now. Jimmy Iovine barely runs Interscope. He's basically, his whole concern is beats. They got a whole lot of new people in there. And Paul Rosenberg, who's Eminem's manager, he's over at Def Jam. He's running Def Jam now. So what do you think he's going to do there? Social media. They use Complex as one of their tools. Remember Eminem was on there sneaker shopping on Complex? Why do you think that was? They set that up with Noah Callahan, who actually is now working with him on Def Jam Records. You think that's a coincidence? Joe Budden was fired from Complex? You think it's a coincidence that after Joe Budden's podcast, they took down, and after he dissed Eminem, they took down all Joe Budden's Everyday Struggle episodes where he was dissing Eminem? They removed all of them. How do you think that is? Because Eminem has all those people at Complex working for him now because of Noah and because of their relationship with Paul. Why do you think Joe was bringing that up? Like, when I come in there, I see Paul Rosenberg in the office of Complex when I walk in there. Why do you think he's alluding to that? So these two men are very powerful and very dangerous. But Eminem became the very thing he was fighting. And that is my main problem with Eminem. He preached like he wants to uplift and do all these things, but he's a very petty, vengeful individual who can't handle that the times have changed and he seems to be dated. If if you listen to his music, because I really don't want to harp on Eminem as much as we have, so that's why I'm kind of putting everything in one video to cover a lot of this stuff, because I don't want to keep making videos on Eminem. It's sickening to me. But I have to educate and pull the layers back, or you guys don't, because you guys don't really listen. You hear parts of it and breeze through. Where Diddy was uplifting people and making people successful. And they talk about, hey, everybody from Bad Boy is broke. He gave everybody from Bad Boy chances. Look at Mary J. Blige. You think she's broke? Faith Evans. All of these people that had opportunities. He didn't have one artist. Joe Budden is why I think he's getting publicity. Joe Budden is getting publicity because he's unfiltered. He normally is, but the thing is he normally protected Eminem. Eminem's mad at Joe Budden because he's like, look, I'm trying to hold Slaughterhouse together and you out here sabotaging me and saying it's the worst song ever made. And for the first time ever, Joe Budden stood up to Eminem and called it out for what it was. He called out Eminem for being what he was. And he called out the marketing plan behind Revival, which was basically trying to support the Black Lives Matter, and it didn't look genuine. Puff uplifted people with his power. He didn't go out to try to abuse people with his power and hold people down. That's not what he did. The people who speak negatively on Puff are in the minority that works for him. But for Eminem to be out here blackballing rappers and using his power to submerge people on social media and all that crap, it's ridiculous. It is beyond ridiculous for him to do that, knowing that you're doing that to the people who supported you coming up. People who wanted you to win because you were the underdog. They rooted for you. You're actually trying to destroy a career of somebody who was a fan of you. But the people that hated you, who never liked you in the first place, you let them waltz on by. And then people be like, well, what do you want from Eminem? Eminem should have to atone for everything that he's done. Brother, you don't know how the record business works. There's no such thing as stealing publishing. Puff would be in court. Do you see anybody taking Puffy to court? People sign away their publishings all the time, dog. Don't let people lie to you. See, you believe the artists a lot. They sign stupid contracts because they're greedy and they want the money up front. They don't read nothing. They don't know nothing. The lawyer's right there. Their managers are there. They all sign and agree on the dotted line. It ain't just Puffy putting a piece of paper in their hand and telling them to sign. Puffy don't have to steal from them. He's getting paid anyway. So why does he need to steal it from them? You tell me, name an artist Puffy done robbed. Name me one artist that Puffy robbed. Okay, you just throwing names out. Mace got the most money of anybody in Bad Boy. Twice. Black Rob went to jail. He had an album that went gold. That was basically street. Went to jail. Kept going to jail. That's not on Puff. Puff ain't had nothing to do with that. He kept going to jail. He couldn't do nothing with it. Carl Thomas was paid as a writer, got his checks all the time, on time, made all his money. Sean Poe, you know what he did. So when you gonna give some onus to these people? The Locks, are you serious? Puffy got them a million. They sold a million records with the marketing that they put behind them. They never recouped none of the money that they was put in for production, marketing, all of this stuff. They signed over their publishing to get released. That was part of the deal. He owned a large percent of their publishing. They believe that, oh, it's only a certain time limit he can hold a publishing for. What lawyer told you that? Was he from Yonkers? Puffy gave them back their publishing. He said, you know what? It's not even worth it. Because y'all keep coming up here, doing this and bad mouthing me when we just saw you on tour. And I told you, if y'all had any problem, just come to the office. We can make it work. And they went to the office. It was their lawyers that was messing stuff up. See, lawyers and stuff have their own agendas. And they want to get the most out of it they can for them. They're not thinking about the artist. Absolutely not. At that time, she wasn't. But Biggie sold his percentage of Little Kim over to Puffy. Sold Junior Mafia and he sold Lil Kim. And that was my only discrepancy with what Gene was saying in his story. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. How do you have those contracts? He already signed Kim and Junior Mafia over for $1 million. I knew that because I heard it right out of the horse's mouth, the person who was involved. People, y'all got to realize something. Big didn't start getting his money right. Y'all think he made that money? He only made 2 albums. He made more money off remixes than he did off anything else. But yeah, see now, but Paul don't really have to do that much now. Paul can work at Def Jam and still do what he does. And see, you got to look at it. Why did Eminem go after Diddy? Eminem's not going to go after Diddy unless Paul Rosenberg, Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, all of them think it's okay to do it. He sent shots at him the entire time on that platform. Why? Because this is how power people work. They have tried to go behind the scenes and have things done. And once that didn't take off, because Diddy's a numbers guy, he see the kind of numbers and views that Joe Budden gets on his show and his podcast and say, I want that on Revolt. I want that on Revolt. I need that energy on Revolt. I got to get some of that. Now he's got a Spotify deal, sponsorship. Joe Budden do. Is they're crushing it. Yeah. Well, the thing is, they went behind the scenes. I'm quite sure Paul told them, look, you're bringing this guy over there. You got Charlemagne, who's backed by Puffy. Revolt comes in there. And Charlemagne could tell any little lie that come to his head. He could tell every pretty little lie that come to his head. Charlemagne could sit there and tell the entire world he got nothing to do. Puffy do not do nothing for us. We ran by our heart radio. Blah 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 blah. When Birdman came up in there, you didn't call iHeartRadio. You didn't get on the phone with iHeartRadio and say, I need to get up out of this place. Charlemagne made a call to Diddy. Peace. You said they played the best hip hop artists? I don't think so. For what? But they got the gang out of it. Shine didn't go to jail for Puffy. Shine went to jail because Shine started shooting. He's the one that shot people. They got him on tape with the gun. He went ham. The witnesses said he the one that shot me. There were other people in there shooting too, but dog, they got video footage. He was going to jail, period. It's not like Puffy did the shooting and put the gun in this man's hand. What are you talking about? No, what Diddy did was have witnesses. His lawyers and his team, they had different lawyers. Like Puffy had an upper echelon thing with lawyers. He paid for the legal team, but they had different lawyers. And while he was locked up, Puffy was bringing money. He had somebody bring a bag of money over to Shine Mom's house, and Shine Mama was like, he told his mom, "Nah, get that money back. We don't want it. We good." So they gave the money back, wouldn't take it. Shine is mad because Puffy's case was messing up his case because they had witnesses that blatantly came out and lied about the scene with Puffy, which messes up Shine's case because he got witnesses that's coming in there that wasn't even there, coming in there lying for his benefit, saying what they saw, which tears holes, which the prosecution in that case will use against Shine in his case. Now it's putting holes in his testimony. So it's hindering his case. But Diddy was found not guilty. But that sounds more plausible that he took the fall for Diddy. Diddy told him to start busting. That's more entertaining to people than what actually happened. Shine just he went off. So that was just what happened. Just luckily and thankfully, nobody was killed. I mean, Eminem just dropped an album, right? Where was his Shady Records people at on the album? Puff dropped a Bad Boy album. He gonna have the whole Bad Boy on his album. 112 gonna be on there. It's Bad Boy. They all gonna be there. Boogie went there. What was the other? Conway. Where were they at? I didn't know you had Joyner Lucas. I didn't know he was an Eminem artist. Is he a Shady Records employee? I don't think so. So you're gonna give that shine and spotlight to somebody who's not signed to you? Why would you do that, Shady? Oh, because you need them. Okay, we get it. You need them more than they need you. You see, Joyner Lucas didn't need Eminem. That racist song he made, that was huge. That put Joyner Lucas on the map. He didn't need Eminem. Fat Boy Gary from the film room has come up. After rapping for 11 years in this game, he finally got his breakthrough. No, I'm not saying it. He did the right thing. That was going to give him some attention. He held his own on a song with Eminem. If not, did better. Because it was basically his song. And Eminem is rapping on his song. No mainstream fan knew who Joyner Lucas was before the Eminem feature. Are you on crack? The song that he did, the racist song he did, was was mainstream. How do you think it got across to everybody? You thought just black people listened to that song? No, it was a mainstream song. People knew who Joyner Lucas was. And how did How did this song with Eminem make Joyner Lucas even bigger when no one's talking about the song? Here's what I got to ask you, person who says being on the song with Eminem makes you bigger. Who did the song with Eminem and got big because of it? Please let me know. Who's the artist that did a song with Eminem and blew up because they did a song with Eminem? Joyner Lucas, yeah. Okay. Right. Nobody. That put everybody on to Joyner Lucas. You guys don't understand what I'm saying. Jeez, my gosh. I'm not a racist. Joyner Lucas put put a whole bunch of attention to him and his music. So the people who actually buy the hip hop music knew who Joyner Lucas was. Okay? Now, what this did was introduce Joyner Lucas to a bunch of teeny boppers who only listen to Eminem because he's white, who's not going to buy Joyner Lucas anyway. Eminem just did a song with 2 Chainz and Fresher. Well, did that help 2 Chainz or Fresher? Eminem rapped with Slaughterhouse. How did that work out? That was the best thing ever. For Adele to say no to doing the song and blame the tour, the project wasn't good. See, here's the demise of Eminem. Okay, this is why Eminem is done. No, we're saying promote Shady Records. You got 2 songs with Jessie Reyes. I guess she signed with, I'm guessing she signed with Shady Records. But where's Boogie? You just signed Boogie, right? Where's Conway and all the people you just signed? You just signed all these people. You just revamped Shady Records because Shady Records just got money again. Shady Records was damn near bankrupt. See, I'm telling the truth right now. Y'all don't. And now I'm not saying Eminem was bankrupt. Shady Records was almost bankrupt. They re-signed a new deal with Interscope. They just did it. That's how they were able to sign Boogie and all these new artists. That's why you're seeing back-to-back albums with Eminem so fast because he is Shady Records. So he's got to launch everything off and hit. And when the first one didn't hit, he had to come back real fast and correct that to get the change the narrative back to try to keep Shady Records keep the lights on because they can't have Eminem fail. That would just look so bad, wouldn't it? Yeah, but all of these people were hot before Eminem. Like I told you guys, he did not make 50 Cent. Joe Budden was 100% correct on that. People offered 50 Cent record deals. It was about who was he going to sign with. But he signed with Eminem and Dr. Dre because they're like, okay, well, this is Eminem and Dr. Dre. They're hot right now. And he signed, to be honest, it was one of the worst record contracts ever given. He had a very messed up record deal. But what M did for him, because it gave Eminem a street credibility he couldn't get with D12. And 50 could make his own song. So while they producing songs for 50 Cent to rap to, Dre and Dre and Eminem, they roll out like almost a $15 million budget. Felt like it had to be like, let me see, at least 10, $11 million budget to promote 50 Cent. Because they knew it was going to be crazy. They're thinking, okay, he's going to sell 3 million out the gate. And we'll recoup that money back in no time. He's going to sell like 3 million records. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a great album. Because they knew they had hits. They never, and 50 Cent knew like, oh, they underestimating me. I'm going to sell way more than 3 million records. He's like, they thinking I might go double, triple platinum out the gate. I'm going to blow the doors off, which he did. 50 blew the doors off. And Eminem said he did way better than my albums ever did. Right out the gate. Well, I'll tell you this much. Look, how many people you know still listening to that? Nobody's listening to that. Nobody's going around listening to Kamikaze right now. There's no other songs that really stick out on it that are radio friendly. Stepping Stone is the only one. And it very rarely is played. Well, she probably found the outlet for her. I don't know anybody remember Dawn Richard. The Ringer sounds like another Rap God song. Except for the Ringer was better, in my opinion. So if I do another video, I'll show where he fell off at and what went wrong with Eminem and how you guys helped make that possible. And I saw the writing on the wall from the moment I heard it. I would do it now, but I gotta leave. Yep. So I'm out. It's been fun. Y'all have a blessed day. Oh yeah, don't forget to leave me a message or make a donation to the page. Just click the link in the description box. I'm out.